Roosevelt was born October 27, 1858 in New York City. He was the youngest president in U.S. history. At 22, he married Alice Lee and graduates from Harvard College. Theodore Roosevelt served as President of the United States from 1901 to 1909. Teddy, as he was sometimes called, was one of the most bright and the most athletic in terms of outdoor activity. When Teddy was a kid, he was small and commonly ill, suffering from asthma and other illnesses. When he was about 12 years old, his father told him he would need a strong body to give his mind a chance to develop fully. His father built a gymnasium in his home. Teddy exercised there, building up a lot of strength. Theodore Roosevelt became a member of the New York State Legislature in 1882. In 1884, both his wife and mother died. Since he was sad, he left politics. He moved west to the Dakota Territory, where he operated 2 cattle ranches. In 1898, the U.S. and Spain went to war, and Teddy led the Rough Riders. He was also elected governor of New York. In 1900, Teddy was elected vice president. McKinley and Roosevelt went on to try to win the election. President McKinley was shot in 1901. Roosevelt was elected to a full term as president in 1904. After leaving the presidency in 1909, Roosevelt sailed for Africa to go hunting. After Africa, Teddy returned home as a hero. In 1912, Roosevelt was unsuccessful at trying to regain the presidency. He then resumed his outdoor life. In 1919, Roosevelt dies at Sagamore Hill on January 6th. If there was ever a leader who lived life to the fullest, that man was Theodore Roosevelt. He believed that government could be stronger, fairer, and that the country could become more intelligent. In 1927, 8 years after Roosevelt's death, an artist named Gutzon Borglum began an unlikely project in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Using dynamite, he began blasting and sculpting the faces of 4 great Americans into the rock face of Mount Rushmore. Borglum chose Theodore Roosevelt to represent the 20th role of the United States in world affairs and the rights of the common man. Roosevelt's childhood love of nature never left him. He did more for environmental conservation and preservation than any president before or since. During his administration, he quadrupled U.S. land reserves, created 150 national forests and 5 national parks, declared the Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls national monuments, and established 51 wildlife refuges. Here's the sound of Theodore Roosevelt speaking to a group of men from the porch at Sagamore Hill, 1960.
More people can be stated briefly. It is, are the American people fit to govern themselves, to rule themselves, to control themselves? I believe they are. My opponents do not. I believe in the right of the people to rule. I believe that the majority of the plain people of the United States will, day in and day out, make fewer mistakes in governing themselves than any smaller class or body of men, no matter what their training, will make in trying to govern. I believe again that the American people are as a whole capable of self-control and of learning by their mistakes. Our opponents pay lip loyalty to this doctrine, but they show their real beliefs by the way in which they champion every device to make the nominal rule of the people a sham. I am not leading this fight as a matter of aesthetic pleasure. I am leading because somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.